Hi everyone, welcome to Assetto Corsa. We're here at Hockenheim. We're in the VRC Formula Alpha 2024. We're going to have a look at some setup options. It can be very overwhelming when we first load this car up. There's a lot you can change. Every little nuance of the car can be tweaked. Luckily, the default setups are pretty good from VRC. You don't have to do a great deal with them, especially the suspension. Really good, nice and stable. Most of your lap times gained through tyre pressures. Selecting the right aero kit. There are 5 of those to choose from for the different circuits, and getting our deployment correct. So that's in terms of harvesting and deploying our energy is going to be a huge difference to your lap time between an average lap and a great lap. First thing to understand though is a different terminology when we're talking about Formula 1 engines. They're quite complex, the modern units. When we talk about an engine, we're now talking about a power unit. There are 6 components in that power unit, or the engine. That comprises the internal combustion engine, which is the petrol part of the motor. Produces about 750 to 850 horsepower depending on the team. And then we have the hybrid system on top of that for another 160 horsepower boost. So the other components besides the ICE are the turbocharger, obviously, which spools up. Got 2 motor generator units, MGUs. We've got the MGU-K, which is the kinetic system from the braking and when we're off throttle, and the MGU-H from the exhaust system. We then have the ES, which is just the batteries where the energy is stored, and then it's all deployed to the CE, which is the ECU, the electronic control unit, and that deploys the energy throughout the lap. So we can map how that energy is stored and used, and it's really cool actually when you get it correct. So ideally, cross the line with 100% energy to start our lap. When we finish the lap, we want to be pretty much empty in an ideal world. And then you get another boost obviously for the next lap. So how that relates to our little map here of Hockenheim. 3 colours, cyan, I'm going to call it blue for this purpose, red and white. The blue is when we're deploying the energy of the MGU-K, so that's good. We want that on most of the lap if we can. The red section is when we're spinning up the turbo. More power, but more fuel, etc. Wouldn't use it too much during the race. The white part is the regen, when we're off throttle, under brakes, harvesting our energy. So we want to try and time our splits here. We can change our splits so you can break the lap up into how many splits you like. You can choose how long you're deploying energy for, how long the turbo's on for with the little sliders. You can play around with that and see what works best, but the general rule of thumb is we want white section, so harvesting energy during the braking zone, probably up to the apex. We want blue section on the straight bits when we've got full power, and a little bit of turbo in certain sections just when you're coming out of the exit of the corner for a little bit of a boost. Obviously different circuits will be very different. Hockenheim's a short lap, you can be quite aggressive with the setup. Spa, for example, a lot of long straights, easy to use up all your energy very early in the lap. So you might have a lot more white sections at Spa, for example, where you're harvesting, especially through sort of Rivage and before Stavolo there, where there's a lot of sort of off-throttle corners, a little bit of braking there. And you sort of got to look at your map and understand where you're going to be braking, where you're going to be on throttle to work out where those different modes are going to go. So let's jump in the car now, put it into action. We go on Strat 1. If we're looking at our map on Strat 1, it'll be all white. We're not using any energy in this mode. It's just completely on the internal combustion engine. So no hybrid system in action at this stage. On our little widget there in front of us, we've got the gear obviously, and a few bars around there. So the red bar is a turbo, and that will fill up when it's under boost. The green bar and the yellow bar are our deployment of energy. So the yellow bar is the per lap, and that should empty down nicely as we go along, and the green bar is our overall energy. When we get into our hybrid mode, there'll be a blue bar on the left hand side which will kick in, and hopefully the idea is that blue bar is on for most of the lap. That means we use our energy, everything's all good, and we're on full power. And we'll just flick it over now to Strat 3, and you'll see immediately we'll have a boost of power. Blue bar came on, we're using our MGU-K. There's certain sections of the lap here like there where it's gone off, we're harvesting there when we're off throttle, back on power, and now the yellow bar and the green bar are coming down as we use that with power. So we've got more speed, more top speed, more everything. There will be a little bit of playing back and forward with this as you get used to each track, but the general rule should still apply in terms of the white section, the blue section and the red section. You hear the DRS split there in the ear as well. Back on throttle there, a little bit of regen coming out of the corner and back on the full bends. Power's draining down really nicely. Good top speed. A little bit of a turbo boost out of here, I believe. Yep, there we go, the red bars just filled up. Just for about 60 metres or so. It's really fun for you setup nerds out there to have a go at all this sort of stuff, and very satisfying when you can make your own little setup. And everyone will be different in terms of how they do it. There'll be plenty of ways to skin a cat, as they say. Not everyone will do exactly the same thing. That's where all the fun is. There you go, guys, that's basically how it all works. Hopefully that helped a little bit. And as always, thanks very much for watching and take care.